Hey guys, and welcome back to Anzo. In this video, we're going to be talking about Seiya Suzuki, the international free agent that has just been posted. And he's coming from Japan, and basically everyone's talking about him on what team will he land. Rumors are that the Yankees are very interested in him, so we're going to dive into the top 5 reasons why the Yankees should sign him. Coming in at number 5, he's super versatile. We're talking about a guy that's played every position except for second base and catcher. And at one point in high school, he was even a starting pitcher, not even just any starting pitcher. He was the ace of his high school team. Throughout his career, he's played 73 games at third base. He's played 67 games at short and 1 game at first base. The majority of his time has been in the outfield, where he's done an amazing job. We're talking about a Gold Glove winner, where I believe he's won at least 3 times the Gold Glove out in Japan. Now, who can we compare him to on the Yankees? We can compare him to, let's say, Joey Gallo. I would say, arguably, he's the best defensive player on the Yankees. Now, if we compare him to Gallo, we're going to notice in the last 6 seasons, Joey Gallo has a fielding percentage of .983 out of 399 games played. He has 14 errors, 36 assists. Now, if we compare that to Suzuki in his last 9 seasons, he has a .986 fielding percentage out of 888 games, 21 errors, and 53 assists. So we're talking about someone that obviously, based on these numbers, has played close to double the amount of games that Gallo has played, but yet has stayed consistently slightly even better than Gallo. We're talking about when Gallo has the same amount of games played as Suzuki, Gallo most likely will probably have more errors than Suzuki. We're talking about Gallo having 14 in only 399 games, and Suzuki, after 888 games, having 21 errors. We're talking about someone that is very, very good defensively and would fit perfectly and fill in the needs of the Yankees right now, where they're looking for a center fielder. Suzuki could be that center fielder and do it very well up to the level of Judge and Gallo and have a solid outfield. If you like the idea of him being the new Yankee center fielder, comment down below and let me know what you think. Coming in at number 4, he has a lot of experience when it comes to playing big time games. Now, I know coming from Japan, there's going to be a transition period for him to get used to how the American League or the National League works with the pitchers and the batters and all of that. Every single Japanese player that's come or international player that's come usually has to make that transition. The thing about Suzuki is that he has experience playing against possible players that he's going to play against here in the United States. So he's someone that has experience in the Olympics in Tokyo. He played actually with Tanaka. He was teammates and where they won the gold. Not only that, but he's played in the Japan series, which is like their championship series out there. And he's also led his team to the playoffs several times. A mediocre team where he was like the star player of their team. Not only that, but he started becoming the face of Japanese baseball. He's a 3-time All-Star, but a lot of people compare him to Juan Soto based on all of his stats. He was in the World Baseball Classic in 2017. Also, he helped represent Japan on their national team. Basically, he has been an MVP for his team in the last few seasons and also for international teams that he's been a part of to represent Japan for. Coming in at number 3 is the contract. He's going to come at an affordable price. A lot of times, if we look at this off season, we're going to notice that there's a lot of money being spent. People that are getting $30, $35 million a year, where really in past years they wouldn't get that, or at least anything close to that, because they aren't valued that much. But with Suzuki, he's only asking for anywhere between 3 to 5 years at a range of $8 to $10 million a year. That's very affordable if you compare that to any of the contracts that were signed already this offseason. Now, let's say we sign him for 4 years, $10 million each year. We're talking about a $40 million contract which is the equivalent of what is basically owed to Aaron Hicks. I would, in a heartbeat, make that switch over to have Suzuki, which is unproven in the major leagues. He's proven in Japan, but I would take that risk and replace Aaron Hicks with him. Aaron Hicks hasn't been hitting at all really that well in his career. I mean, we look at his career, he's hitting .232, and Suzuki is actually hitting .309 in his career in Japan. So, I mean, you kind of do the conversion. Let's say Suzuki on the worst, he starts hitting .260. That's a whole lot better than Aaron Hicks. Plus, Suzuki still has power, can steal some bases, and on top of that, he's a very, very disciplined hitter. And keep in mind, Aaron Hicks is 32 years old, and Suzuki is 27. You're getting a young guy at an affordable contract. Why wouldn't you take the risk and do it? Of course, there's also the international, team that you have to pay off and all this stuff. We're talking about maybe, let's say, $10 million extra. So we're talking about maybe add another $1 million to the contract or whatever of how much you're spending, right? But I would say do it. Other teams are going to be involved. Maybe that number goes up or maybe the amount of years. But I would say it's worth the risk. And if it were me, if I were in charge of the Yankees, I would find a way to trade Hicks and then take on this contract and see what he's all about. What would you guys do? Let me know in the comments below. Reason number 2 is he is durable. In the last 4 seasons, he's proved that he isn't injury prone. A lot of people believe that he was at one point before the 2018 season because he dealt with ankle issues and he dealt with lower back issues. Now, what he ended up doing was proving for the next 4 seasons that he was ready to prove all the haters wrong and show it with numbers and games played. In Japan, they have 143 season games, and his average in the last 4 seasons has been 129 games played. That is really solid. I mean, even if you look in the MLB, even if he just plays 120 games, 130 games a season, that's a pretty solid, durable player right there. Not only that, but in the last 4 seasons, he's hit over 300 for his batting average. He's had at least 30 plus home runs, and he also averages 85 plus RBIs. Now, that is someone that is very decent. And if any of those numbers convert over to the MLB, we're talking about a really solid player that I would take over many center fielders in the game today. Coming in at number 1 is that a lot of people see him as the next Hideki Matsui. Hideki Matsui was one of my favorite players. Actually, this jersey right here, if you flip it around, it's Hideki Matsui's jersey. And he was an amazing player for the Yankees. If you got a chance to watch him play, you saw how disciplined, how durable this guy was. He was a beast. For his career average, he hit .282. He was very durable, played most of the games in the season. I think in the first season that he played, he actually played all the games in that season. He had many seasons with the Yankees where he hit 100 plus RBIs. He had 20 plus home run seasons, a .312 batting average in the postseason, and a .983 fielding percentage. He's a very solid player. I consider him a Hall of Fame type of player. And that was one of the successful, basically, contracts that came from Japan. Now, a lot of people are saying that Suzuki could be the next Hideki. Now, if we think about this, let's compare the numbers between Hideki and Suzuki. In the last 4 seasons, if we're comparing this guy to Hideki, we're going to notice that he hit .319 batting average between 2018 and 2021 seasons. Not only that, but he has a 16% base on balls percentage. Not only that, but he has a 16 strikeout percentage, which is really solid, really solid. We're talking about a guy that takes pitches, and not only that, is very disciplined enough to get on base no matter what. In the last 4 seasons, he's hit 122 home runs and 346 RBIs. A very solid player that I would sign any day of the week. Now, if we're comparing him to Hideki, let's go back to 2002. the year before Hideki was signed to the Yankees. If you guys remember, Hideki came onto the New York Yankees in 2003. But with his former team, he hit .334, 107 RBIs, 50 home runs, 114 base on balls, and 104 strikeouts. Amazing numbers that ended up translating into awesome numbers that first year in 2003. Now let's compare it with Suzuki's numbers. So in 2021, assuming that this was his last season in Japan, then we're talking about he hit .317, 38 home runs, 88 RBIs, 9 stolen bases, 88 base on balls, and 89 strikeouts, and a fielding percentage of .989. Very comparable. Obviously, Hideki had a higher batting average, but not that far off. And not only that, but very similar home runs, not that far off either. RBIs, not that far off, and very similar base on balls and strikeouts. So we're talking about a very similar player that if he can convert to anything similar to his 2021 season, same way that Hideki did, we're talking about the next Japanese star alongside Ohtani. And this guy has the smoothest swing. If you watch his swing, you can see mechanically it's really awesome. So that would be the number one reason why we should sign Suzuki, because he could be the next Matsui. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate each and every single one of you guys and the support you guys give me every single day. Make sure to hit the like button if I earned it. Make sure to subscribe because I come out with daily Yankees content. So you wouldn't want to miss any more Yankees content, would you? So make sure to hit that subscribe button. Not only that, but again, hit that like button because it helps the algorithm share this with more and more Yankee fans. And not only that, but hey, if you liked it, share it with some Yankee fans and let's get the word around that the Yankees should get Suzuki. And if you get a chance, make sure to comment below and let me know what you think. I really value listening to what you guys have to say because a lot of times it's really awesome stuff that you guys and a lot of great points that you guys have. So make sure to comment below and let me know if you would sign Suzuki to a 4-year, $40 million contract and possibly make him the new Yankees center fielder. Let me know down below. And if you're looking for more Yankees content, make sure to check out these right here. I have a playlist of all my Yankees content and possibly just another video that might be best suited for you. So make sure to check that out. And as always, guys, this was Anzo, and I'll see you guys on the next one.